The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Discretion is advised.
All right, welcome to Rare Form Radio. Was that planned?
At the last second it was. It sure was. I got you good, dude.
Oh, yeah, you really got me. Welcome to the program, Rare Form Radio. I am Todd Newman, your host, along with my co-host, Mr. What's your name again?
Dan Query.
Dan Query.
Yeah. I'm here with the one, the only, Zoomin Newman.
Oh, my God. All right, Patreon people, $20. Marco Laxonin, Davier, or is that David or Davier? Did you make a typo?
David Meir.
Okay.
Meir. What happened? Let me see. Wait, I'll look at it. No, it's right. Oh yeah, David.
Davier. Davier, what a queer boy.
He's
not
Armenian.
Not you, Davier. I mean
Me. Dan Query.
Dan Queer. David Muir, and $10 is Megan. No last name on the Megan. So Megan, thank you for your 10. I'm just getting those out of the way. All right, let's get a show going.
No, I want to make a point that from now on, you're the only person doing our thank yous.
I'm not.
Because of how uncomfortable it makes you.
It doesn't. Here's the thing. Let me re-illustrate or re-clarify. It's not the thanking people. I'm very thankful to the people.
I know that.
Very appreciative. It's the whole thing about it that I don't like. You understand?
That's a
That's
very
what
good
makes
way.
me uncomfortable.
And that opinion is a very good way to get people to come join us, is by telling them how much you hate it. Just tell them it's a big waste of their money.
Yeah, it is. I wouldn't fucking pay to listen to me.
I would. Dude, you're in your prime right now.
Oh, God. Anyway, Marco, so is that Marco paying a $20 Patreon because he's trying to buy his way back into the fold after leaving us that email about ages?
Oh, it was him, wasn't it?
I think it was. I'm pretty sure that this was him.
Well, I mean, it's a good way to
works.
do it. All's forgiven, Marco. Welcome back to our hearts.
Yeah, I'm as old as however you wanted me to be. That's how old I was in that story.
That's funny shit.
David Muir and Megan. Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Oh, Dan, what's going on?
Well, I was admiring your karate gi you're wearing tonight.
Oh no, this is just a short sleeve shirt. I was out at a dinner and I raced home to do this because one actually kind of got me able to leave a little early. Oh, I gotta go do radio. Sorry guys, I gotta go. It was a little social distance type of outdoor seating thing, and on top of it, I ate so much fucking food. I feel like I could go to sleep right now. Like I haven't been doing that lately, and tonight I did.
What kind of food?
So, Italian food. Really good Italian food, but really heavy, bad for you Italian food at the same time.
Yeah, there's no Italian food where you eat it and you're like, I just go for a jog, I think. It doesn't work that way.
I feel so light. Let me go fucking jump on my trampoline in the backyard.
I think it's my favorite cuisine, but it does that. I thought you were wearing like a karate gi.
No, it's very comfortable, this shirt, but it's not my style. I usually wear a t-shirt or a tank top or whatever. So I don't know. I'm trying out a new.
It's a little Miami, it
is. It's definitely like a tropical nightlife city shirt.
It's also a little shady. Like if someone were to ask you what you do for a living, you'd be like, import, export.
Yeah, don't worry about what I do for a living.
I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Bada bing.
I'm an importer. Yeah.
There you go.
What do you think? What do you think? Open collar?
Listen, You have been getting a lot of heat on our social media. People thinking you're looking damn good lately. So I would leave it a little open for the gentleman interested.
For the gentleman?
Yeah.
A little.
You do got a little Max Cady going on with that shirt too right now. Gross. It's not great. Pretty good, dude. Looking good.
Ready?
Yeah.
I just hurt myself.
Did you really pull a pec? Did you really hurt yourself?
No, I'm just kidding.
Kidding. Do you ever get a back pain that's directly between your shoulder blades in the middle of your back and your spine?
Yes. All right, I'm gonna leave it open.
Yeah, good. Good.
Yes,
and also
I do get
hurts.
that.
It's your chest and your back at the same time. What the fuck is it, and how do I fix it?
I'll tell you exactly what that is. I know exactly what that is because I have that same pain.
Oh.
It's a lung cancer.
Oh no.
Especially because you don't smoke. At least I knew. I kind of can't be in denial. I know it's coming. So
I like that you called it a lung cancer.
It's a lung cancer.
Shit.
Just
No,
one.
it's driving me nuts.
No, I get that too. That's just a tweak in a nerve or something, I think more. But I got this right now.
Ah. Mm-hmm.
That pain.
Yep.
This, you can fucking go.
Welcome to the Grumpy Old Men podcast, everybody.
Yes, this is, dude, I could fill 3.5 hours on the pain that I have. Just physically. Emotionally, we
don't have enough time.
Now, you need a fucking $10,000 donation from Patreon to hear about my emotional pain right now.
You heard him, everybody. Get up 10 grand. He's gonna unload on you guys. We're recording this on November 1st. Yesterday, of course, was Halloween.
Halloween, yes.
Was setting up to be the best Halloween ever. Saturday, full moon, blood moon or blue moon or some shit.
Blue
2020.
Moon,
yeah. And we couldn't do anything. What did you guys do as a family?
We took the kids to a friend of ours' house that there was like 6 other kids that we've been seeing. They're in our, I guess,
the bubble or whatever.
The pod. I just hate new terminology for any given situation, like there's always some new, this is the new normal, like just all those fucking sayings I can't stand, but so that people know what we're talking about. There are people that we know have been quarantined and tested. So we went over there. They got her friend has a house that they have a big spacious yard and they put up a projector and the kids watched I Knew What You Did Last Summer and a bunch of horror movies and they got in their costumes and,
That's pretty good, actually, considering the state of the world right now.
Yeah, they got a bunch of food and stuff like that. But usually I think we were talking last week, my neighborhood goes off and people come in. It's usually awesome. And there's just dead here. Dead.
Yeah.
So
I went out and we went to a friend's house last night just to kind of do a backyard hang. And we walked there. We walked like a mile and a half to get there. Didn't see one costume. It was like 6:30 at night. And LA is usually from 4:00 in the afternoon on, you see people walking around in costumes. And it was I wouldn't even have known it was Halloween.
Yeah, it sucked.
Very strange.
Definitely sucked this year. But they had an okay time, I guess. And we dressed up a little bit and I basically got in that costume, took the picture and took it right off. I was like, it's just not fun. Yeah.
Right. When you were a kid, who took you out? Was it both parents, just your mom, just your dad? They take turns? Was it another neighborhood person?
It was only when I was a really little kid that they did that. I started going in my neighborhood not by myself, but with my friends. 6 or 7, we would, okay, bye, we'll see you later, and come back an hour or 2 later and have a bunch of candy.
Wow, those days are so long gone.
It's a different world. Yeah, it was a completely different time, a completely different world we lived in. So
I was thinking last night, when I would go as a kid, we'd all go to my aunt's house. And I had there was 19 cousins. So we'd all go there and the parents would take us out together. And my family is all drunks, every one of them. So we'd be dressed up with our pillowcases ready to go trick-or-treating. And they'd be like, just a few more minutes. We'll just have one more and then we'll go. And by the time we hit the street, it was 9:15 p.m. Like everyone's
People are
done.
shutting their lights off.
And like all of our chaperones, moms, aunts, everyone are just loaded. Could not, like, they're not there to do it for the kids. It's their party, and we'll go when we're ready. Right. So we go out for a half hour. They get tired, and we just like go back home with barely anything.
Yeah, no, where I lived, my exact little square few blocks was safe. Like everybody knew everybody. I wasn't trick or treating at strangers' houses either. You know what I mean? Like it was all people we knew in that way, and so yeah, we would just go by ourselves. But I don't put it this way: I don't remember going with my parents because I was that little.
Okay. Did you grow up in an apartment or a house?
A house at first, and then an apartment.
Okay.
No, actually, an apartment first, then a house, then an apartment.
Okay. Like one of those huge New York City places, like apartments, or what? What was your apartment like?
Regular 2-bedroom apartment, like nothing, not huge. We didn't have money when I was a kid, so
I just meant like those like the projects type apartments.
No, it wasn't like that.
All right. Damn, I wish you were a little bit cooler. Projects would be cool.
Yeah, I wasn't a projects kid.
All right.
No.
Okay, Newman.
Projects came way later.
All right.
When I was going in there for specific purposes, coming back out.
I want to know more about that. Like
drugs.
I know, but your early days, like how far would you go to get drugs?
How far?
Like, would you get on trains? Would you walk? Would you ride bikes? Like, where would you have to go? And how did you first find out where to go?
Not really trains, subways, buses, cars, people who had a car, that kind of stuff. And you find out right away, like, early. It wasn't far, put it that way. They were everywhere. First, you start getting it from people. Here's money. You got the older kids, you guys are going, bring us this, that kind of thing. And then you get older, you just know. In fact, one of the spots that I used to go to all the time when I was like in a senior in high school, 11th grade, like from 11th grade until I moved out here pretty much, was right by those steps in the Joker.
Oh, no shit.
That's Jerome Avenue in the Bronx.
Oh, no shit.
And I'd be down there so often that there was a guy. When you drive down that street and the steps are like, you could see, you see the steps. You drive down that street and they all jump out at your car. Like there's like 20 guys, all holding, they were buying weed,
Right.
And they all holding dime bags and nickel bag and $20 bags or whatever. And I was down there so often, sometimes 2-3 times a day even, that there was a specific guy who, when my car would turn the corner, he'd back everybody off and he would casually walk up to my car.
Like, you were his.
Like, I was his customer. Yeah.
Crazy shit.
Yeah.
I wish
I had some crazy stuff happen too back in those, like getting out of the car stuff and cops are coming and like have to run with those guys and hope that they didn't fuck me over. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Sure.
One in particular that's not really a radio story just because it's long and kind of there's no reason I wouldn't tell it on radio because of content. It's just one of those you had to be theirs. But like I got caught with a guy, I was buying crack, where like I had to trust my life with this guy who was a street drug dealer that I never saw in my life before, and go in a building and up and on rooftops and hop over shit to get away from cops chasing us and hope that this guy did not fuck me over or kill me or whatever. Like it was the most harrowing experience.
Was that idea of him killing you just running through your head the whole time?
I was screaming at him the whole time, like, bro, don't fuck me over. He's like, no, man, come on. He's a Jamaican guy. Come on, man. I'm like, I didn't know, like how this was going to play out. And it's one of those moments. Tell me, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be drugs or like whatever. everybody I think can relate to those moments in your life where you think about them now as an adult and you really think about it and you get like nervous all over again. Like, I can't believe that was part of my life, that happened.
Oh,
and
sure.
that nothing was bad from it, like came out of it. You know what I mean? Like,
sure. Yeah.
That's definitely one of those moments, that specific time. Like, I'll tell you the whole story another time, but it's involved in like, we were running through an empty building, an abandoned building that the dealers had put plywood up. It was pitch black, like a maze.
That they knew the way through.
They know the way through. And if you're a cop running through there, you go to the wrong dead end. And like, I could see their flashlights under the plywood and hear them running and chasing us, and their radio squawking. And the guy's so pushing me through hallways, like pushing me. I'm falling and getting back up, and don't fuck me, bro. Come on, man. Like, and him pushing me over like iron, like fence, like wrought iron things. Right. And like, it was insane.
Yeah, I never had anything like that. That's crazy shit. And that's genius to make a little like paths for yourselves.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, my craziest one that like it's not that crazy even, but I would tell you the story when I had the toy gun in my mom's car. Maybe okay. So it was, I was driving my mom's car, and my best friend Dave and my buddy Mike were in the car with us, and my little brother was like maybe 2 or 3 at that time. He still had a car seat in the car. And I had this old, like Beretta 9mm fake gun. And back in the day, fake guns looked like the realest fucking shit ever. And so when he was a little boy, like it became his, burn yourself. Yeah. So it became his toy, and it happened to be in my car, in my mom's car. And we were parked outside of Dunkin' Donuts in the night times, like 9:00. And my buddy Dave, who was riding shotgun, found the gun on the floor and started like twirling it on his finger while people are walking by in front of our car. And he was like, he wore one of those scally caps, and he was like, people walk by and he pushed the cap up with the gun, just like flaunting this fake gun. We thought it was funny. This Dunkin' Donuts was like 100 yards from the police department, from the police station. And he's holding the gun, twirling it. And all of a sudden, 5 cop cars surround my mom's car, and 7 cops get out, all with their guns drawn, pointed at our car. And like, we're in the windows are up, and I'm like, dude, throw the gun out the window. Throw it now. He goes, no, if they see it, they'll just start shooting us. And I was like, so we didn't know what to do. So we just froze. And they must have kept us there for 30, 40 minutes because my mom's purse was in the car. It didn't have her ID in it, but it was her purse. So they were positive that we'd stolen a purse, that we used a fake gun to mug somebody. And there was a cop who still works in my hometown to this day, I believe, was like frisking me. And I had a switchblade. He found my switchblade. And when he was like frisking me, he put his finger down my ass crack, like on the inside of my underwear. And
did you come?
He did. Because he shot it on my back. But that was a time where, like, I feel like nowadays, if we were black, we would have been killed. No question about it.
Yeah. Here's a crazy story. When I first moved out here, and I'm talking first moved out here like 2 weeks.
Oh, fresh as could be.
Fresh as could be. I had only visited California one time before for like a weekend. And that was the only. So I'm brand new, and I'm complete. Like, even my accent's thick still. My accent used to be a lot thicker, New York accent. And if I get really mad, my kids and my wife will tell me it comes out more, or if I'm talking to other people from New York. Anyway, so me and my buddy who I moved out here with, after he left, I have no idea. I've never talked to him since, but me and my buddy had moved out here, and he had a brown Mustang, like a shitty one. Yeah, it was like an
early 70s one?
No, like a 1989, 88 one. Okay. And it was like the dealer special, whatever. And he just, Anyway, so we're driving. You know that bar, the 3 of Clubs? It's still there. Okay, it's still there. It used to be a cool spot.
I played there many times.
It's a cool little spot. We were going there to see some band or something, and there's a gas station right next to it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting pulled over, so we pull into the gas station. And just the way that the guys pulled us over, I could tell, like, this is not just a traffic stop because they came up on us so fast.
You guys fit a
And,
profile or something.
Yeah, they get out of the car, and this is 1992. So it's like a little bit after the riots, and it's not the same LA that it is now. It's a very hip hop LA, hip hop violence LA at this point. And the cops jump out of the car with their guns drawn. Let's see your hands. Like, whoa, put my hands out the window, like, and they're like, get out of the car. The cop opens it up. They throw us on the hood of the car. And this one cop is going, this is them, flight jacket. Because I had a green flight jacket on. This is them. I'm like, because I was fresh, I don't know. I'm like, yo, bro, it wasn't fucking us. Like, you know, he's like, shut the fuck up. And the other cop is going, I don't know if this is the car. And he's like, this is them. I'm telling you, this is that. And this one guy is volatile. And the other guy is like, I don't know. We're just sitting there. And I'm starting to like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? I'm not resisting. You know, I'm doing that whole act. And my friend's like, dude, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, no, fuck this. There's, you know, nothing. We didn't do anything.
I'm white, goddammit.
Yeah, he's like, shut the fuck up. Finally, a call comes on the radio in their car. And they listen to it. I can't really hear what it's saying, but the one guy hears it. He's like, I told you it's not them. Let's go. Like, I guess they got whoever they were looking for that fit our description. No apology. No, hey, guys, sorry. Da, da, da. They just jump in the car. Take off. And I look at them. I'm like, what the fuck? Should we stay here? Like, in Los Angeles, I meant. Like,
right.
What
That's not a very nice
that?
welcoming. Not a very nice welcoming.
No, and then like 2 days later, I got pulled over on the highway. And I was speeding or whatever, and I get pulled over. And the guy's shining the light in my face, and he's just being a dick and blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, license and registration. I give him my license. He sees that it's a New York license. And he's like, are you visiting? I'm like, no, I live here. I just moved here a couple weeks ago. And he's like, well, a couple of weeks, you should have a California license by now. And I'm like, I didn't even know that, sir. You know, like, I'm trying to be cool.
I'm barely an adult. Give me a second.
Yeah. And he gave me a ticket and whatever. And he's like, get a new license. And I'm like,
okay.
Fucking. But I've had good experience too with cops in Los Angeles. If we're going to go down the cop road.
My first one was fucking great. I got pulled over I had a taillight out in my buddy's car. And the cop came over. He was kind of, you know, tough cop at first, you know, stern, and asked for my ID. And I still had the Massachusetts license. And he looked at it and he goes, ask me the same question. Like, do you live here? Are you visiting? And his demeanor changed and got cooler. And he started saying, like, he went into the Boston accent. Like, he's from there. He dropped his, like, you know, tough guy thing and ended up going back to his car, ran my license, came back, gave me his business card and said, listen, welcome to LA. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to give me a call. Like, amazing.
Do you think he was gay?
I think so.
If you
what
ever
gave it away is when he made me suck his dick to get out of the ticket.
I was just going to say, if you ever need to suck a dick, I'm your guy. There you go.
Ken Hurley. His name is Kenneth Hurley or something like that, but another Irish card. Boston guy. What was your one? The
one cop that was cool to me was a New York guy. People stick together, I guess, but it's 4th of July. This is many years into me living here, but it's 4th of July. And I'm coming down the canyon because I had someone who lived up in the canyon. And I'm coming down those little side roads to get to the main road to go down.
Of course.
There's no one on the street. It's daytime. There's no one driving around. Like, everybody's at barbecues or whatever it is. And I fucking just blow. There's a street that's small, and I know that there's a stop sign there because I've been there before. But there's never any cars, so I just blow it.
The one time.
Yeah. Pulls me over. The guy pulls me over. And he's like, did you see me sitting back there? He said, do you know why I pulled you over? And I said, yeah, because I totally just blew that stop sign. And he's like, did you see me sitting there? I was like, well, once I blew the stop sign, I saw that you were sitting there. I figured you're going to pull me over. And he takes my license. This is, like I said, many years later. So I have a California license. And he's like, a license and registration. And I give it to him. He's like, you're not from here, though. Where are you originally from? I tell him New York. He's like, oh, yeah, I was born and raised in New York, too. I've been living out here for how many years, he said, or whatever. He goes to the car. I guess he runs my plates and just to make sure that I'm not some arch criminal. And he comes back and he's like, I'm not going to give you a ticket. And I'll tell you why. And he goes, I'm not going to give you a ticket. And I go, great. And he goes, do you want to know why? I said, sure. And he goes, I've been sitting here for 3 days at this sign. I've pulled over 60, 70 cars in 3 days. Every single one of them has fucking lied to me and given me excuse about why they blew the stop sign. You're the first person that said, yeah, because I totally just blew that stop sign. He's like, so I'm giving you a fucking pass.
Listen, we learn as kids, honesty is the best policy.
Wait, yeah. And then he said, he said, here's my business card. I'm friends with this other guy on the force from Boston, and we like when dudes from our hometowns suck our dicks. So
wait a minute. Do you think that my guy and your guy?
Maybe,
holy shit!
I think
it's
maybe
a profit deal.
We're gonna run into each other one day, getting out of a ticket. If you know what I mean.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I mean, I told you, I mean, everyone knows I come from a cop family, and they just like when you're a cop, your entire job is just to be lied to all day, every day.
Yeah, yeah.
No, if you're doing traffic stops, if you're a detective, maybe not, but you're probably still getting lied to. But if you're pulling people over just all day with the excuses or I didn't see it, the light was yellow. It's like it wasn't. What do you think I do for a living? You fucking idiot.
There was another time too when it was the first day of Luca's nursery school. Like I just dropped him off, and like me, Mr. Tough Guy, Luca goes in. And he starts, they're like, you got to drop him off and leave. You know, it's like, you got to go through that period. And Lucas starts screaming, crying for me. I'm like, it'll be okay. And they're like, leave, dude. And I leave. I go around the corner and I start crying like a little fucking bitch. I'm like, I can't believe this is me right now, you know, like, and I light a cigarette. And I'd quit for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, having one or two a day, and I was like, fuck it, I need to have a cigarette. So I light a cigarette and I get in the car and I'm driving, and I had it in the car. Usually when I smoke, I don't smoke in the car, you know, but I just was like, I had it in my hand. And I smoke half of it, and I guess it just kind of burned down, and I still was tripping about my son in my head. So I'm driving down Wilshire, and I see that they're ahead of me, that there are like 5 cop cars all pulled with people pulled over on both sides of the street. So they're doing some traps or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I fucking start to drive, and I realize, oh shit, I'm still holding this cigarette. This was like 30 minutes ago that I lit the cigarette. But I just was like tripping. So I'm like in my head, and I'm not.
You weren't thinking, you're just, yeah.
So I go like this and I flick it. It's just like the butt. And I flick it and I look in the rearview mirror, and there's a cop right behind me. He fucking pulls me over. And he's like, he's a young kid. And he's like, license and registration. I'm like, okay, here you go. And he's like a tough, badass cop, right? And he's like, you know, did you know why I pulled you over? I was like, yeah, I flicked the thing. He's like, all right, license and registration. He goes back to his car. He comes back and he goes, did you not see me sitting right behind you? And I said, yeah, I did. And I realized what I did. I was like, I'm not trying to give you an excuse, but I'm having a harrowing day. I just dropped my kid off for the first day of nursery school. And I just was not thinking. Go ahead, take it away. Like I'm guilty, you know? And his whole demeanor changes, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I remember what that was like last year. I had to draw." And he's telling me the whole thing, and he like turns into the kid that he is, not the cop that he wants to be. He's like, "I don't want to give you a ticket, but my supervisors are all watching me right now. I have to give you a ticket." He's like, "I won't give you a burning ember ticket because that's like a big deal in Los Angeles.
Fire hazard,
obviously."
of course. Yeah.
He's like, "I'll just give you the littering fine." And I'm like, "Okay, like I get it. I did it."
Right.
He's like, "I really don't want to give you a ticket, man. I hope your son has a good day. Like, blah, 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 it gets better." He's like trying to give me advice. I'm like, at that point, I'm like, "Yeah, give me the ticket, jerk off, and let me get the fuck out of here." So I leave, and that's when I had to take that. I go to court, and my lawyer tells me, I have a friend who's a criminal attorney. So he's like, "Look, you can't really do anything for a litter to just go and explain." And he's like, "Explain that you're sober and that you want to they're going to give you community service. So just explain that you want to do time in a rehab or something, that you do that anyway. And can I apply it to my community service hours?" So I get in front of the judge, and it's like all day I'm in fucking Beverly Hills court, and it's just like everybody ahead of me is getting a ticket for the light, the camera, taking a picture of them.
Oh,
and every
suck.
person,
yeah,
"That's not me. The light didn't change yet. Da, 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 da. If you look, you see in the picture, it's blurry. That's not my car." Like, there's every excuse. So I come up, and they're like, "Oh, littering." I'm like the only littering guy. So I feel like a piece of shit.
of course, because that's littering is so 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Been over forever.
You want to explain? I was like, "Well, I didn't throw like a bag of food out the window. I flicked a cigarette." I explained to the judge, and I said, "Oh, can I do, I'm a sober, member of this group. Can I make that my community service? Can I apply that to the hours?" And she's like, "Oh, did your attorney tell you to say that?" The judge, she's a woman.
Ooh,
and I was
awkward.
like, "Well, he advised me, sure, that could be a possibility." She's like, "Yeah, had you gotten a ticket 3 months ago, that would have been the case. What we do now for littering is community labor. It's not community service. You're getting out on this is that story."
This is where the picture came from, right?
Yeah. So she's like, "You have to do community labor. You got to get out on the highway. You're going to be on a team and clean up and blah." I'm like, "Oh, and by the way, the ticket is $600 for the littering and blah, blah, blah." So I go to pay the fine first and then get signed up for whatever I have to do.
Yeah.
And it comes out to like $3,000 because of court fees. Like, that's how they get you.
Right.
So I'm like, "Fucking cocksucker, you got to be kidding me. All because my fucking shitty son couldn't handle his first day of school." So I get fined to community labor, and I got to go out there like 6 a.m, and I'm on a work detail with all guys that are doing this for like 2 years every day in lieu of going to prison. So these are like hardcore guys that I'm on this team with.
Yeah.
And I go, and
they're trying to avoid a bid.
Yeah. So I go, and I'm like, "You know what? I'm gonna be positive. I'll make the best of the situation. I'll get out there. I'll fucking roll up my sleeves. I'll do the work, manual labor all day. It's a fucking day's worth of work. It's not gonna kill me." We get out there on like the side of the highways, there's fucking hypodermic needles everywhere, like dead animals, rubbers that are used, like all kinds of crazy shit. You're freezing right now. You just froze.
Actually, good now.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So I get out there, and I'm starting to work, and I'm doing my shit. Like, I'm talking, we need to clear this whole area, like, of everything. of all the garbage and the bushes and the trees. Like they pull out weed whackers and shovels and chainsaws and all kinds of shit. So like, and it's fucking middle of summer, so it's brutally hot. And I'm out there and I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm going to put my elbow grease in on this work. And one of the dudes comes up to me, he's like a fucking huge black guy. He's like, yo. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, And I go, what? He's like, motherfucker, we're here for fucking 2 years. You're here for the day. Like, you got to slow the fuck down, making us fucking look bad. I'm like, okay, cool. So after an hour or two, I start getting a little friendlier with the guys, and they're like, what set you from? And I'm like, huh? They're like, your tattoos, man, your ink. What set you from? And I'm like, I'm from New York, bro. Our tattoos don't mean shit.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, New York. All right, New York. Like the whole day is like that. Then this is the best part. The guy who's the foreman is an ex-convict. That's like, he's this big. Dreadlocks, like pock-faced, just like mean mean-looking fucking hard-ass motherfucker who knows all these guys and is riding their asses.
Sure.
And he reads me the riot act right when I get there. He's like, if I catch you slacking off, you coming back tomorrow, motherfucker. And then I'm like, all right, I'm here to work. Like, yeah, do my thing, whatever. He's like, no cell phones, this and that. And I have my cell phone in my pocket, which I snuck into the outhouse and took the picture and sent it to you of me wearing the hard
Frank,
hat.
we're throwing this picture up right here, right now.
Do you still have that picture? I don't even know.
I'm sure I do. It was my profile picture for you on my phone for years and years. It was like 2 or 3 years it was in there for.
So
it's the best. Manuel Todd.
I risk fucking having to do it for like a whole nother week or whatever, just to send you the picture of me in the hard hat with the vest on and the highway inmate vest.
And you do not look thrilled in the least bit.
So I fucking work all day. And I'm like, this was hard. Like, I'm filthy. There's dirt in my eyelids, in my mouth, in my nose. I blow my nose. It's just black with dirt under my fingernails, sweating my balls off, like fucking hard ass work all day.
It's like your worst nightmare being that dirty.
Oh, yeah, I'm sore. I'm dirty. Can't wait to get the fuck home. The truck takes us back, and we sit like in the back of the truck, like in an old fucking movie, you know. Like
you couldn't even drive yourself there?
No, you drive to a spot, and then they take you on a
bus.
Like it's like you sit in the back of a fucking pickup truck, like basically. That's the city's truck, you know.
Right.
One of those yellow trucks. So, like, yeah, safety and protocol, like, they're not worried about these guys suing the city if you got dumped over on the side of the highway. There's no seatbelts. Like, we're boom, 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 like, you know, like we're driving. Boom, boom.
Of course.
So we get home, and the foreman, who's been fucking on my ass all day because he wants me to slip up so I have to come back. That's what they do, you know. And he's like, I'm like the last guy out of the thing, and everybody skedaddles, and I'm sitting there, and he's like, yo, come here. I'm like, what's up? And he's like, you cool? I'm like how? And he's like, you working? I'm like, yeah, I work. Yeah. And he goes, what do you do? And this is when we were doing Dark Matter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, I do this radio show thing, and I write, and I have this. I'm telling him. And he's like, you a hard worker. And I'm like, well, look, I don't plan on making this my living, but I fucking did the crime. I'm doing the time type of thing. Like, I just figured, let me just get this over with and do a good job, you know? And he's like, what's your show? What radio you do? And I'm like, it's called Dark Matter. He fucking pulls out his phone. And he's like, oh, you Dave Navarro, like, and I'm like, yeah. I didn't think he would know who Dave was, but he's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, let me send you my demo tape. Like, and he keeps me there for like fucking hour and a half playing me cuts.
Oh no.
Of the worst, like low rent, like done on like a Hustle and Flow Casio keyboard like thing of him rhyming and rapping. And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, I just want to fucking go home. Finally, he lets me go. I get home, I check my Twitter. He's already started following me and sending me DM. Like, motherfucker.
And that man became Lil Wayne.
Yeah. So my advice to you is don't flick cigarette butts out the fucking window.
Oh my God, not worth it. That's not worth it.
Not worth
it. It is nice though when you have those human moments with people like that, when they, bring down the wall and just are cool for a minute.
Once those dudes knew I wasn't like some whatever, and that I'm just there for the day, like I did something, whatever.
No, I met the cop when the cop realized you dropped Luke off, and you're just like you were emotional.
Oh yeah, I told him the truth.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, he was like, I'd let you go, but I can't. My supervisors are watching. I'm like, I get it. I did it. I'm not saying don't. I'm not using it as an excuse. I'm just telling you why I wasn't thinking. Because that's not like me. Like I might act like I don't give a fuck, but I don't litter. I don't flick cigarettes out the window. I might when I'm walking in the street, but like I just don't, But so I was like, fuck, man.
It's a drag.
Enjoying the podcast? If you'd like to show support for Rareform, there are a couple of ways. Become a patron at patreon.com/rareformradio. Make a one-time donation or choose from a few subscription levels paid monthly for extra benefits. Those extra benefits include bonus episodes not available to the public, exclusive live streams, more interactions with the gang, along with other special perks that will change over time. Choose your level of donation and know that your contributions go to keeping the show running and growing, paying crews behind the scenes, and just supporting independent artists. That's patreon.com/rareformradio. You can also get Rareform merch by going to rareformradio.threadless.com. T-shirts, hoodies, mugs, all kinds of silly shit. We're constantly adding new things and limited time only goodies. That's rareformradio.threadless.com. You can also help build the show by subscribing, leaving a review, and most importantly, leaving us a rating on iTunes and Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Lastly, follow the show on Twitter and Instagram by searching @Rareform Radio. Thanks for supporting independent entertainment.
Anyway, that was a long, boring story. Sorry, people.
And we've heard it before, but it's still good every time.
Oh, have we? I don't see. That's the thing. Yeah. You texted me last week, like, some stuff that I said a few shows ago. I had no recollection. I'm like, what the fuck? I was almost annoyed with you. I was like, what did you text me?
I don't remember. I have no idea.
Oh, you texted me dick fucks. Apparently,
yeah. We're trying to figure out what to call our Patreon supporters, and you're like, dick fucks? So literally, within a week, I sent Todd a thing back being like something about dick fucks, and you're like, "What's that?"
I wrote, "What's that from?" Like thinking it was some movie
from
or something.
Movie. I was like, "That's your invention." Like you lovingly called our fans dick fucks.
Yeah, and I don't remember anything I say. It's not just on this show. I used to have a great retention for memory. I don't anymore. I don't know if I'm old and senile. I don't know if I just don't care to remember shit anymore.
Well, there's also, it's simple too. Like I've been listening to Stern for 20 years and he'll retell stories sometimes too. So part of you is like, even if you told it before, there's people listening that've never heard it before. It's always a good story. So why not? Like, I don't know. We're trying to kill time here.
But it's not a good story.
Yes, it is.
It's a story of
if anyone knows anything about you, like the idea of you on the side of the highway in a bright orange
chain gang.
Oh, totally. And being dirty and sweaty and like
I was in
my mind. How do you take 3 hours when you're there? How do you take 3 showers when you're there?
Yeah. In my mind, I had like the striped jumpsuit and the striped hat.
Oh,
and
sure.
like I was chained to all the guys, like
oh brother, where art thou? George
like
Clooney.
with a pickaxe,
I am a man.
of constant sorrow. It's such a great song.
Oh, it's a great movie too.
But that's how I vision it in my mind.
Sure.
But
I mean, I don't remember shit either. The only reason I know that that we tell stories because I have to edit the show, so I hear stuff again and that kind of shit. But
yeah,
it's still a great story. I need to send you a video real quick, and then I want to talk about something that happened.
Is it a video of Sean Connery taking his last breath?
No, but it's a video of Sean Connery.
Okay.
I imagine you've seen it. Fucking.
Is it a video where he talks like this?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to have seen this before.
All right.
Uh,
Send it.
And then hold it to your microphone, and then we'll add in the video.
You did an interview in which you said, it's not the worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it with a clenched fist. It's better to do it with an open hand. Mm. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I didn't love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
You haven't?
No, not at all.
You think it's good to slap a woman?
No, I don't think it's good.
You don't think it's bad?
I don't think it's that bad. I think that it depends entirely on the circumstances and if it merits it. Yeah.
What would merit it?
Well, if you have tried everything else, and women are pretty good at this, they can't leave it alone. They don't want to have the last word, and you give them the last word, but they're not happy with the last word. They want to say it again, and get into a really provocative situation. Then I think it's absolutely right.
What would...
Have you ever heard that before?
I have actually.
I had not until yesterday.
Oh, that's all. That's all we were talking about at dinner.
About Sean Connery being a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. Wait. Why the fuck can't I share this?
You did an interview in which you said, not the worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't...
I'll just pause it. Okay. Yeah, we were just talking about that clip at dinner, actually, and that Sean Connery died. Yeah, he used to beat up women or whatever. That whole thing came up, but I don't see the problem.
Hey, he just she tried to give him hey, we're going to talk about it. So if you want to go back on it.
If you want to backpedal, she gave him the chance to backpedal, and he's just old Scottish guy who was James Bond, who's like, I'm not backpedaling.
I still agree.
This isn't.
I still feel the same way.
The cancel culture hadn't been invented yet.
No,
you know what I mean.
No, he was. When you're that old, you're who you're going to be.
Yeah, I mean, but he's not even that old in this. I mean, it's
50s,
older.
40s, 50s.
No, he's in the 60s here for sure.
Okay, that's old enough where you're not going to change.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, he was 90 when he just
something
died?
like that. Yeah,
like that's 30 years ago already. We're talking.
Right.
So this is like the late 80s, early 90s. This clip.
Yeah.
Is that okay with you, Marco? Is my math okay right there?
Lay into Todd in the comments.
But yeah, on the one hand, it's hilarious.
Wait, careful. Which hand?
On the one hand, it's hilarious.
Yes.
On the other hand, you could say wow, that's not right. We don't live in that kind of society now, and this and that, and no, I've never hit a woman. I don't agree. I don't agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, you're he doesn't backpedal either, which you got to give him some credit for. He's yeah, and it's what he's saying is the old joke.
Right.
What do you tell a woman with two black eyes? Nothing. You already told her twice.
Nothing. You already told her twice. Right. So if you had three hands, so on one hand, it's funny. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. On the second hand, it's still not really cool to do. But on the third hand, he might have a point.
And on the fourth hand, I just like that he doesn't back down.
Oh, no, he just digs his heels in and goes, no,
I'll smack you right now, Barbara.
I told you once, I told you 1,000 times. It's so good. Just it's completely unapologetic.
He's dead now, and watch. This is going to surface. And people are going to start becoming aware of it who know nothing about this guy.
That was me. I had no idea. Yeah.
People are going to start, and they're going to start canceling him in death. Don't watch James Bond movies. Don't watch Untouchables.
Last Crusade.
Don't watch, all those are gonna pull them from HBO, like pull them from YouTube, pull them from. That's what's gonna end up happening.
Yep, I'm not gonna allow it. So then I want to ask, like, does that does not take away from his body of work, in my opinion. Like, he's still like fantastic.
This is so
movies.
funny that you're bringing it up, because that was another thing that we were talking about tonight was, do you separate the art from the artist? In other words, the artist's life, like a Michael Jackson, do you stop listening to his music if you believe those charges? If it's, Kevin Spacey, do you not watch Usual Suspects anymore, like, or whatever, because of his allegation? What do you not watch the Cosby Show anymore, the reruns or whatever? So we were talking about that exact thing at dinner tonight.
And what was the overall? For me, I guess it depends on the crime. Like, Last Crusade is such a great movie to me. He's not my favorite James Bond, because when I was a kid, it was Roger Moore.
Yeah, Roger Moore.
That was my era.
That's my James Bond too. Even he's older for me.
Yeah, hands down, no question, Roger Moore. But Sean Connery, The Rock is great. Last Crusade, I saw 9 years old as a kid. Yes, totally separate. I'm not talking about the movie. Sean Connery
played The Rock.
Yes, in WWF. Like, he was the champion.
You smell what The Rock is cooking?
That's pretty good. Doing the eyebrow. But like, him hitting women, I can weirdly look more past that than Michael Jackson being like a serial pedophile. But still, I can still listen to Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I still, like, all the time I'll show people the a cappella vocals only track from Billie Jean, and you can really hear how unbelievable Michael Jackson was. I guess I can separate the art from the person. I don't think it's hard for me.
Oh, some of the greatest art in the world for centuries was made by people that were completely insane and out of their minds, that did criminal shit.
Of course. Like, Harvey Weinstein's terrible. I'll still watch all the Miramax movies. I'm not, I don't know.
And is he that terrible?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Yeah,
just
sure.
Just wanted to see if you were listening.
Yeah, I'm listening. He's pretty terrible.
Just not just terrible, but just like a gross person too.
Yeah, if he was, for some reason, if he looked better, it wouldn't be as bad.
It does make a difference.
Yes.
It really does. Like, that's how shallow the culture we live in is.
Right.
If it was George Clooney raping all these women and forcing them to get work and parts, he'd be like,
okay, that's not cool. But if it's Chet from Weird Science, when Chet's the pile of shit,
that Harvey Weinstein,
that's
you
not
mean?
as cool.
Because that's what Harvey Weinstein looks like. Chet
that's
as
what I'm
the
saying.
pile of shit. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. What was the opinion at dinner? What was the overall opinion?
It was the same as, like, I could separate the art from the artist, like, hey, I have Charles Manson music on my iPod, and he did the criminal shit first, and then the music came out. Do you know what I mean? Like, in that sense. And, like,
I mean, we have Manson tattoos.
Yeah.
I
got mine lasered off.
No, you didn't.
No.
You pussy. Never in a million years.
Yeah, I can. I can't help but pose the question in my head. So it's ruined in most situations. If I come across an old Cosby stand-up or a Cosby show or whatever, or if I hear a Michael Jackson song or a Sean Connery movie, whatever, it's ruined it for me in this sense that now all I think about is, am I cool with that? Do you know what I mean? Like, I still think if I hear a Michael Jackson song, I think, oh, what a great song by this pedophile.
Like, I wonder if after he sang this song, if he blew a kid.
Yeah. Or if he blew the kid first
and that's
be
why
inspired,
it sounds so good.
and that's why it sounds so smooth.
Or maybe that is when a kid was touching his balls.
Yeah.
It's nothing about every time you hear that sound.
It ruins it in a it ruins it in a sense. But I mean, there was a bit There's a big controversy with Joker because of that, because the Gary Glitter song that they play it, when he's walking.
And what did he do again?
He's a fucking child pornography pedophile ring. Yeah, like so, and he's
but in a bad way.
In a bad way, yeah.
Okay.
So people were up in arms about them using that song.
Mm-hmm.
The song goes perfect with the movie. Like, it doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But yeah,
or maybe it was done with the intention of like, maybe it was done to like, people will have this feeling towards this singer. Maybe it will help the scene for those people or make it more uncomfortable or something.
Well, it's also one of the anthems of like sporting events, that song.
Which one is it?
That hey, yeah.
Okay.
So
that'll do it.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't give a fucking shit. No, in the sense that I give a shit with, look, the pedophile thing, obviously.
Well, yeah.
I have a very strong aversion to that kind of behavior.
Listen, everyone just listen. Todd is on the record as saying he's not down with pedophilia. Let it be known. He's taking the strong stance.
The rest of the guys, whatever. I don't have an opinion.
We'll let it pass a little bit.
The rest of these crimes, whatever. No, but but my point being is that I like what I like. I don't like what I don't like. I'm not going to not like something that I liked because I find out some information about the person who made it.
Mm-hmm.
Necessarily.
Sure.
Would I support it and go out and buy it or whatever? Maybe not. I don't know. It's a tough question, actually. I guess it's a case by case situation.
And I got to think going forward, there's going to be a lot more people being outed for stuff just because everything's so public and out there now and everything's taped and recorded. And, who knows what like our favorite people from the 40s and 50s and 60s were doing.
Right. And here's the other thing. Who knows what really happened with who and what's the truth and what's not? There's just those people and the people involved know. That's it. I'm not even going to go into those people and not people and God are the only people know, because even God doesn't know.
Right.
I have a feeling God's kind of an idiot.
Why?
Well, just look.
Look around, everybody.
He's made faulty merchandise.
Valid. Not a very good pitch.
It could be. It could be that God is an idiot, that he's just a moron. He didn't really know what he was doing and he didn't think anything through. I'm not saying that's what it is, but there could be. Evidence is mounting to make a case against God being. Look, if God created man in his own image, is that the saying?
Something
like that. It's like something along those.
Oh, right.
So
and if we're idiots, then
you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you
make a good point.
Most people are idiots. That must mean that God's a fucking moron. There, I said it. I'm not afraid.
I'm with it. That's a good way to end the show, I think. That's pretty good.
I'm not afraid. All right, let's end it with God is an idiot. Do we have any listeners?
This is our last show. Do you want to carry that over and do an extra segment to have an extended show with the listener questions? There's a bunch of them. There's a lot of them.
Yeah. No, let's do that.
Okay, fair. So we'll say goodbye to everybody listening regularly, and we'll welcome in the patron people for the extended director's cut.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, and we will leave you with Rare Form Radio. You heard it here first. God's a fucking idiot. Oh, wait, I got something else to say. Bring us back. Take off the ending.
Welcome back, everybody.
All right, welcome back. All right, so I'm going to be out of town this weekend, so I will not be here. And I do have some stuff going on where it might be a little spotty, where I might be in and out. So if you see some guest hosts or some other special stuff that will take place of that, I will be in and out, but
Mm-hmm.
just letting you know if you see little irregularities and just me and Dan with our boring bullshit, and there's some new stuff to mix it up, it's because of that. So I'm just giving everybody a little forewarning and letting you know, Dan, too, that I just have to deal with some stuff, and I might be in and out, as it were.
Okay, and we'll keep it going in your in your absence.
I want you to do so.
Yep.
And
right, cool.
I will let everybody know what's going on.
Cool. Good deal.
All right. We'll see you next week.
This is Lola, and I'm here to tell the world to stop being such pussies and listen to Rare Form Radio.